patriarchy has convinced us that it's our job to carry the weight of the world. When you set that down and you're like, no, I'm gonna do my three things, and I'm gonna let somebody else take it and handle it. And a lot of people, they think because you're not doing what they think you should do, or as much as they're doing, because they're still stuck in martyrdom, and they have the right to attack you over it. And that's where the boundaries come in. And you're like, no, I'm not gonna. I will remove myself from this situation. I'm not responsible for saving the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
I am responsible for doing my part, for carrying my weight, the weight of my responsibility. But women have been tasked with the weight of the responsibility of everybody, from managing their emotions to managing their time to managing their location by shuttling them here, there, and everywhere, by managing excessive amounts of mental labor that we do goes unseen and people don't even realize. And until we begin to lay that down and stop playing the martyr and force other folks to be responsible, and I'm not talking about, I'm predominantly talking about men. Start forcing them to be responsible for their own behavior, for their own needs, for their. I didn't get married to raise another kid. Men weaponize incompetent every day, at work, everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And the more we start to stand up to it and refuse to opt into it, the better life on earth will get. It's going to get rough for a while. Like I said, it's going to be
Yeah.
bad. The antidote to fixing it is to opt out of a lot of it, honestly.
It makes so perfect sense because if we're so occupied in this storm of this impossible task, like it's actually impossible to carry that whole mental load and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't get anything right no matter what you do. You're too thin, you're too fat, you're too this, you're too successful, you're too not successful. You're like we can't ever get it right. But we're always trying and we're always falling all over ourselves at trying and we're having lonely nervous breakdowns because we're failing. We're failing at that impossible task. And I'm just as you're saying this, I'm seeing this picture of when we set that down, when we set that impossible task down, there's a silence that can emerge. And then we can start to actually hear what's at our own depth. And then we access our real power and our real offering. Because actually, that thing, that impossible task of running around and trying to manage everything, that wasn't what we're good at. That's not what our offering was about. There's actually such incredible power at our depth that the world desperately needs. But we can't actually even hear it or recognize it or know what it looks like or learn how to trust it again if we're busy, distracted with this impossible task. And I think
Exactly.
for a lot of us, and maybe I'll just speak for me, as I come into closer contact with that incredibly radiant intelligence at my own depth, I will say it's scary because it is so powerful and it is not like anything I've ever seen before. It's not quantifiable the way the rational mind or the masculine world is and what and where that I was indoctrinated into.